I work every day. No time for myself, really. Little time I do got. Hell, I can barely keep my shoes off and get comfortable. Then I'm back in the bed because I gotta get up in the morning and go do the same thing all over again. This ain't life. Shit. We're really slaves. We're just getting paid for it. You know what I'm saying? This ain't it. With all the technology out now, I gotta start working for myself. I gotta figure this out, man. You know, 2025, people shouldn't be working unless they just want to work. You know what I'm saying? I remember growing up, like, man, I need to give me a job, man. I need at least $10 an hour. I'd be set. Now, 2025, I'm making over $20 an hour, and I still feel like I'm struggling.
I told myself if I had to work till I'm 50, I'll party when I'm 51. They don't understand that type of mentality, motivation, and hustle. This don't come with just smoking weed and sitting in your room. This comes with hard work, dedication, motivation, inspiration to get out of your situation. Take patience. Y'all want to understand that though. These houses up here ain't cheap. Y'all out here doing all these drugs, getting toe up from the flow up. But when are you going to take time to put in time to yourself so you can go up?
This is the hard truth that I had to learn for my life to actually move forward, and that's that life is a mirror. It's not a window, right? So when you look out, when you see all these worldly problems, all these things going on that you might complain about, right? Guess what that is? Just a reflection of yourself, right? So when you upgrade your mindset, when you have your habits in check, nothing can derail you. When you're aligned with that future self, the better version of you that you want to get to, and you're walking towards in the path of that person every single day, your habits are in line. Your mindset is unbreakable, right? You're doing everything that's required to get to the next level. That's when you truly live the most joyful life. Bro, when you're in line with the person that God meant for you to be, that's when you truly live a life, right? You live a life with purpose. You wake up with intention, right? You stop living on autopilot. All these things. Now you're aligned with the person. Now you're aligned with God's purpose for you. And that's when life gets joyful, when your habits are in check, when you're waking up every single day with a good mindset, right? These are the things we have to change to look at life in a better view.
At ease, brothers. Man, I hope that you can watch this video, and I hope that after you get done watching this video, your life is completely different after this. Because if there is one thing I've learned about life that has helped me move forward, it's this, man. And I'm not sitting there talking like I'm some guru. I figured life out, but I found my niche. I found a piece of God's knowledge that I've incorporated, that I've embraced, and it's changed everything for me, man. And what I've learned over time that helped me, you know, incorporate this knowledge, man, is that we have to stop chasing. Like, we have to stop chasing our goals and simply start becoming. Because when you hear men talk about, hey man, you know, I'm frustrated with life. Life sucks, man. I've been at this job 5 years. I've been at this job 20 years. And I planned on using this job to move forward, but I'm still in the same spot and I'm aggravated. You got to understand that man has a lot of grind to go 20 years doing something he doesn't want to do and look around and get no results, and he's still waking up doing it again. That man has grind. That man has resilience. But what that man doesn't understand is that if he can take just a fraction of that energy and transmute it into outside of the physical labor as much, and first fix the inside by becoming that thing he wants to become, I'm going to tell you something, bro. I'm going to tell you something. His life will never be the same. We have to stop chasing and start becoming. You got to understand this. You have to understand that chasing is actually standing still. To chase something like if you understand who you are, is it not written that ye are gods? If you understand that you're made in the image or the likeness of the thing that created us, and that thing could say, let there be light, and there was light, then you got to understand, if you wake up every day and you're chasing success, as a God, you're actually telling you're actually telling success, or telling your dreams and goals, I command you to run. If whatever I command, if whatever I say is, then for me to wake up and chase is to command my goals to run. So we have to stop putting that energy into waking up, putting blood, sweat, and tears into the creation process, and put that energy on the inside and become a thing. Become a thing. What do you mean, soul? Becoming. You talk about becoming all the time. What say you, brother soul? Becoming is simply incorporating your thoughts, your vision, your energy on both sides. And when I say both sides, everybody understands this physical side. We wake up every day and we think about credit scores. We think about college degrees. We think about resumes. We think about how to get success and move in a certain way. But we always think about it with a capped mindset. If I don't have a master's, if I don't have 800 credit score, if I don't have all that. So there's limits. But we go to church on Sundays. We go to mass on Sundays or Fridays. We go to Jummah on Fridays. And we sit on these pews, and for some reason, at this particular time, we connect with God. On these particular days, we say that, you know what? All things are possible through Christ who strengthens me. And we're connected to the all. We're connected to things that we're connected to the limitlessness. You know what I'm saying? We'll sit there and walk out of that church, walk out of that mass, and get right back in this physical energy with caps and limits. Like when I talk about becoming, it's saying, okay, you know what? The same thoughts and visions and things that I can see on Sunday, it never leaves me. In other words, my spiritual mind and my ego mind, they're no different now. I don't think that all things are possible on Sunday and I'm crying about the job I'm at on Monday through Friday. There's no difference now. I'm one mind. I have one singular truth. Meaning in every single room I walk in, I'm having the same energy of I'm pursuing my goals. I'm pursuing my goals. And I always tell my brothers in the circle, like that's the one way you know if you're living in a singular truth. If you're walking in that wholeness energy, are you the same person in every room? That's a telltale sign. Because if you go to church on Sundays, or if you come to power circle meetings on Sundays and you're levitating like David Blaine, like you're one with source, and you go home to the wife and you whimper, or you go to the job on Monday and you cower down, you're not living in your truth. You have to walk like who you say you are 24 hours a day. That's how you know you're walking in that wholeness. So when I say becoming, you got to say, okay, you know what? I've been on this job, for all this time, and I don't want to be here. But let me incorporate the thought, the vibe, the frequency, whatever it is. Let me incorporate. Let me at least think about what that would feel like. Let me sit still for a weekend instead of going out with John them, instead of chasing Sally Mae around the club. Let me sit down and incorporate this frequency of what life would be like if I was in my fullness. If I was actually living in my vision, what would my life be like, and what would it feel like? Let me sit still for 2 or 3 days and incorporate that. And you come out of that weekend, man, and you lock in. You lock in. You hear me talk about that sacred space, and I can't go down through there on a YouTube video, but you hear me talk about that sacred space. When you sit down for those 3 days, that 3 months, that 3 years, that 1 week, whatever it is, when you sit still and listen and listen to the highest frequency that mind can show you, you have to understand, brothers, that's a very sacred space. That's a very sacred space. Like that's where your marching orders will come in. That's where your instructions will come in. That's where the identity of your avatar will be given to you. Meaning what you should be doing every day, how you should conduct yourself. You got to understand that's a very special time. And to become is to come out of that meditation or come out of that weekend, man, and lock in. And lock in. And again, that's when the Bible talks about prayer. That's the beautiful thing, man. Like a lot of us have been taught that, prayer is what we do first when we want to achieve a thing. Oh, Father God, please bless me with all these blessings. Prayer is not the first thing you do. Prayer is the last thing you do. Like once you've done all the work, going inside, fixing all the trauma, understand all the limitations, and now decide who you want to be. Now it's time to pray. You know what I'm saying? Now it's time to pray, because prayer is not a series of words. Prayer is you locking into an action. Prayer is you walking into a state of being and never coming out of it. That's what prayer is, man. So once you get those instructions, man, once you become a thing, once you step back into this world, never let this physical world differ from your spiritual world. And then you lock in after that. Lock in and close the door behind you. Let me say it like that. Meaning you go into that state, man, doing whatever it takes, being around whoever you need to be around, putting whatever rituals you need to have in place, and closing the old world behind you. Closing the old world behind you. The people, the places, the things, the vices. You leave those things behind, man, and you focus on the now and who you are. Nothing can stop you. Nothing, no one, no government, no credit score, no degree. Nothing can stop you. That's what I'm saying, man. And I'm saying that not like it's the easiest things on the planet, because there's so many things that keep us from there. There's so many distractions. You know what I'm saying? Women. Well, looking at everybody else chase something when we just need to be still and become. So many distractions, man. But man, if we can just lock in for a season, bro, if you can just lock in for 3 months, 6 months, a year, things will change, man. Like, you got to understand, it's going to take you being bored for a season. And when I say take you being bored, it's going to take you sitting still, not buying any clothes, not spending any money, not going on vacation, not spending all this money on women, not doing all these things. It's going to take you sitting still, going inside every weekend and doing nothing but becoming. Like, it's going to take a season of you just dang near disappearing. And that's hard for everybody, man, because you look out the window, you see everybody skipping and skating through beds of roses and doing all these things, and you want to go outside and play. But I'm going to tell you, man, let them play, man, because you're doing something bigger. And then when you're doing something that people don't understand how you did it, man, I'm going to tell you, at that point, it's just wash, rinse, and repeat. At that point, it's just saying, okay, you know what? I understand what I did to win this war, to accomplish this mission. All I got to do is, you know what? Keep doing the same thing over and over. Expanding. Again, that's living in the image of the Creator. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying, man, is I don't care if you don't hear anything I ever say. Anything. We can sit here and talk about ladies and relationships and women. We can talk about all kind of things. If you hear anything I say, bro, I pray that it's this. I pray, meaning I walk in the energy that my brothers hear this, man. Stop chasing and start becoming. You know what I'm saying? When your higher and lower self become one, when you walk in one singular truth, when you're the same person in every room, then whatever you command is. Whatever you command is. But I'm gonna tell you this, man. To walk in that energy, to walk in that authority is not for play, man, because you got to understand you got to understand this. When you learn how to walk in your I am, when you learn how to summon new worlds, when you learn how to summon new experiences, that's a very enlightening, that's a very grateful place to be in, but it's very dangerous too. Because now you have to move in a certain energy. Now you have to walk in an upright manner now. You have to. Because now you're walking in this Midas energy where everything you touch turns to gold. Now everything you touch turns to something. Everything you touch, every word that comes out of your mouth is doing something. Something's coming back from it. So you have to be to walk in this energy, bro, you have to be very cautious of how you move, of how you talk, about who you spend time with, about who you give your sexual energy with. Because now that you understand who you are and you can embrace and evolve in this state. Now you gotta understand that everybody you rub elbows with, everybody you lay down with, you're taking a portion of their energy, their world, their existence, and you're bringing it into yours. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people was tripping out, man, when Kevin Gates was he was in an interview or something, and he was sitting there talking, and old girl sit there and rubbed on him, kind of get his attention, and he was like, "No, don't touch me." Hell, that's in the Bible. I believe the messenger was saying, "Hey, somewhat at a certain state, you can't even be touching people. Let alone going out partying and drinking, let alone laying down in the bed with them." You got to understand, man, to walk in this energy, man, you have to move different. But I will say this, to walk in this energy, man, you don't have the same stresses as everybody else. Not saying you don't go through the same things, not saying you don't have problems and trials and tribulations, but you're going through them, with a certain understanding that is part of your elevation. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is this, brothers. Stop chasing that thing you want to experience. Stop chasing that wife you want to have in your life. Stop chasing that career that's going to give you fulfillment. Stop chasing that freedom in life that you've been hoping for the last 20 years. And just be still and become that thing, bro. Be still and become that thing. Go into that sacred space, man, for 3-5 minutes, 3-5 days, 3 or 5 months. And come out of it, man, and let your frequency be no different than it was when you were in the state of your mind. In other words, let your heaven and let your earth be one frequency. That's what the Bible talks about. When you talk about bringing your heaven upon your earth, what do you think they're talking about? They're talking about you have the ability to sit still and think a thing, to experience a thing in your mind and bring that thing into fruition in this third dimensional plane, this playfield, this playground God has put us in. It's a beautiful thing, brothers. Matter of fact, it's the most beautiful thing. Matter of fact, when you understand this and you start living by this, everything else that excited you starts to fall to the wayside. Everything else falls to the wayside. And you just want to live in the image, walk as God would walk, man, and play the game of life, man. So again, brothers, stop chasing and start becoming.
Life is a roller coaster, man. You drop on a roller coaster. This is about life. If you going up like this, right? Eventually you gotta drop. But when you drop, the next time you go up is way quicker. The grind to the top on the first hill gonna always be the one that take the longest. But when you drop after that first drop, nigga, the way up gonna be way motherfucking faster. You don't get off the ride in the middle of the fucking drop. You stay on that motherfucker. You hear me?